I have on the phone with me a lady who's been in the radio station here before and been across the hall when Brian Nieves was here. Sarah Steelman, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing fine.
Now,
I like that forecast.
Well, now, you hail from what part of Missouri?
I'm from Rolla,
And you've
just
been,
down the road from you.
you've been having quite a lot of the same weather we had. You had all those 100 pluses for what, like the last 10, 12 days or something like that?
Yes, yeah, we did. But you know what? I've been on my farm tour, my flatbed forum tour is what I'm calling it, and the drought is hurting farmers so bad. That's why I was glad to hear that rain in the forecast. I hope it really materializes.
Yeah, only at 20%, but 20% is better than no chance at all, right? You know how that is.
20, that's not too good. But
Yeah. Now, you
keep
are...
our fingers crossed.
You got it. You are running for United States Senate, and you and I were talking briefly off air. You've got like a bunch of different candidates in the primary, the August 7th primary. Previously, you were... Well, give a little bit background on where you've been in government and where you want to head, obviously, to the Senate.
Yeah, I was state treasurer for 4 years, and before that, I was in the state Senate and represented Rolla and the 8 counties around it. It's a rural district. You know, before that, I was broker for H.E. Edwards, had a little branch down here in Rolla.
I'll be darned. So you've done a little bit of everything. Now, as far as what's going on in the political race, you've got some stiff competition in the primary and obviously in the general election with Claire McCaskill.
Well, Claire McCaskill is very vulnerable. You know, she's completely disconnected from what's going on here in Missouri. You know, she thinks government knows best and makes the best decisions about your life rather than you do. You know, believes in more government, more spending, hasn't done anything about the debt, wants to raise taxes now. It's time that she comes back home to Missouri and we send somebody else, and I want to be that person.
I'll be darned. A nice positive statement on your part. Now, I got to ask you something because this happened on the show yesterday morning, and it's interesting. I've got a lot of feedback. Our station here, with the music format we play, predominantly appeals to women. Probably about 70 to 80% of our listenership are women. And we have very few political ads. And I asked a couple of the local politicians who are running for office, who shall remain nameless because they told me not to say their names. And I said to them, hey, how come you don't buy any advertising on our station? And you know what their response were? Their response was, women don't count.
Women don't count?
Yes, because of the fact that, see, what's interesting in our business, in the radio business, most of the advertising goes to political stations. They go to talk stations and, you know, and...
Oh,
and,
you mean because your listenership is mostly women? That was their response?
Yes.
Oh, my God. Well, I'm here to say that women most certainly do count.
Well,
and they've got the large part, over 50% of the electorate. Are you kidding me?
I couldn't agree with you more, and that was my pitch. And I essentially said to them, I said, you know, do you really feel that way? And they said, man, one of the guys came right out and said, of course, I'm not going to say who he was because he sort of swore me to secrecy. He said, this is the reason why he's not on my radio station. And he said that women don't really pay much attention to politics, and that's why they advertise in the talk stations, because it's mostly men, and men are the ones that really go out and decide the elections. So I talked about this on the air more yesterday morning, and I received many emails from many of my women listeners going like, who was that moron? And I really think it's interesting because I think in the state of Missouri, and I think the national census shows that there's more women than men. And it's interesting. And one lady sent me 3 or 4 different articles that talked about how the women as a voting bloc has become more and more of the majority vote than men.
Well, absolutely. Yes, women are. I mean, it's unbelievable to me that somebody would say that. I just can't believe it.
Well,
of course, women follow politics and participate. I mean, look at me. I was state treasurer. I mean, you know, that's just absurd. Women care about the issues. They want to, you know what, women want to solve problems. And they look at what's going on in Washington and they think, what's the matter with these people? Why don't they do something? You know, I mean, there's just it's an incredible statement to me. And so I certainly appreciate women who participate, who listen, who educate themselves about the issues, and then make decisions based on that. That's the way women think.
Well, now, you were in the private sector. You worked at A.G. Edwards. What got you into politics? Was there a defining moment where you can look back and say, this happened and I decided I needed to do this? Any action like that?
Well, I have always been participating in some way in grassroots politics as a citizen. You know, I worked for Ronald Reagan. I was actually a delegate, went to the convention in 1976. And when Ronald Reagan first came on the scene, you know, he didn't get the nomination that year. And then in 1980, I I was in college, and I took a group of girls that I got together up to Iowa. I was going to Mizzou, and we went up to Iowa and worked for Ronald Reagan in Iowa caucuses. We were the only ones up there working for him, actually.
Really?
Yes. So, my dad actually always taught me to be involved and participate, and he was a conservative. He was a Reagan Goldwater conservative, and, he just taught me the importance of it. I was a Girl Scout, and you know what? Duty, honor, country stuck with me forever, and that's the way I feel. It's our duty to participate and to, I think, this election, get our country headed in a different direction. It's just so critical. I'm so worried about it, and everybody I talk to campaigning is just worried sick about the future for their kids and their grandkids. You talk about what women are worried about. That's what women are worried about. They want their kids and their grandkids to have the same opportunities that we had when we were growing up to be prosperous and to live in a free country and to have a job. They graduate from college just to go to college. So, these are the things that motivate me, and that's why I want to go to Washington and fight for us, for you and me, just people sitting out here watching what's going on and thinking, we got to have new leadership.
And as some of the politicians say, us out here in flyover country, right?
Well, that's right. And I think flyover country, the heart and soul of this country is right here in Missouri and around the Midwest. And we have common sense. We understand, just like on this agricultural tour I'm on right now, Flatbed Forum, everybody I'm talking to, they just want a little common sense in government. It's ridiculous. It's like the EPA telling 14-year-olds that they can't bale hay anymore. Are you kidding me? That's just stupid.
Yeah,
or regulating dust, or some of the ridiculous other regulations that come down on farmers. This has got to stop. And we have to be proactive about it. We can't just react. We have to be proactive. We got to stop it before it starts from now on.
Sarah, I appreciate you being with me this morning. If someone want to get a hold of you, get more information, help you with your campaign, what's a good contact number or email?
SarahSteelman.com is my website, Sarah with an H, and you can email us. You can Sarah _ Twitter is my. I'm sorry, Sarah _ Steelman is my Twitter account. I need another cup of coffee this morning. And,
I got you up early, didn't I?
And we're on Facebook, Steelman for U.S. Senate, and we post things constantly on our Facebook positions that we're taking, policy papers, you name it, it's on there.
Got it. I appreciate your time this morning, and if you don't mind, I'll talk to you off the air briefly, and we will be right back, 6:56.
Great, thank you.
Low interest rates plus a buyer's market equals